Hey everyone, welcome to Battle Training, where you'll learn to, what did they say? Control your tank and destroy other vehicles. So, this is the test server here for World of Tanks 8.4, I believe it is? Yeah, 8.3 or 4? Either which way, we're going to enter the tutorial here, see what they have to say, to see if it's any usable.
Point the camera at the military vehicle next to your tank. Move the mouse left and right. The turret follows the camera as you move it.
Alright, clearly some good information here. See if I can increase the map. Nope. Alright, so let's go ahead and point at the tank. Or the Jeep.
Point the camera at the ambulance next to your tank.
Alright, so now I need to find the ambulance. Where be that ambulance? There we go.
Move to the designated location.
Alright, so gives you the nice little controls there. Gave you a little run through about how to look at different things. Let's go ahead and turn my tank over there and keep going this way. I mean, so far it's just a basic little tutorial how to get into the game, something that's vastly needed, to say the least, for new players getting into the game.
Move along the road. Take care not to damage buildings or vehicles.
So it's definitely giving you little useful tips. It's not really allowing you much of the excess controls yet, just simply saying you can move and turn your turret. I haven't been able to scroll out here, haven't been able to increase my map. I can move backwards, forwards, turn, and I can auto speed up. So far so good, but
Congratulations. You've learned to control your tank.
Thank you.
Move to the firing position. It is marked on the mini-map in the bottom right corner of the screen. When crossing the swamp, note that difficult terrain reduces vehicle speed and maneuverability.
I mean, this is all pretty useful information that it's giving us so far. I haven't really found anything too unnecessary yet. I mean, by and large, the game really hasn't had anything in the way of a tutorial yet. It's pretty much you see the help menu from the get-go and that's it. So let's go ahead and move up and see what it says to do with the Panzer IV in front of me here.
Destroy the enemy vehicle. For better accuracy, wait for the aiming circle to shrink. Wait for the gun to reload before firing again. Use the mouse to aim your gun at the enemy. When you aim directly at the enemy vehicle, it is outlined in red.
Okay, so basically it's telling us to aim at the enemy vehicle. And the thing is, I'm not able to zoom in at all, so I'm just having to point blank fire at it. And then it's letting me reload. And then I can fire again as soon as it finishes reloading. As you can see there, nothing spectacular yet, no real advanced tips. Maybe if they stated that I could aim in to target weak points.
You've destroyed your first enemy. Move to the firing position. It is
So
marked on the mini-map in the bottom right corner of the screen.
basically, it's, yeah, firing from the hip is alright, but I really wish, well, maybe at the moment they haven't taught us anything about aiming in yet. We'll see what else is available here. I don't want to judge it too harshly just yet. It said it's a 20-minute tutorial. I find that very hard to believe here. I'm almost done.
Destroy the enemy vehicle. Before you fire, wait for the aiming circle to snap onto the target.
Okay, so I'm snapped on. I know I'm not going to penetrate, so... So at some point they really wish they would tell you what you're supposed to do here, because just by and large, as a standard person, I'm going to sit here...
Enable auto aim. To avoid being an easy target,
Oh.
in a real battle you'll have to keep moving. Enable auto aim for easier aiming on the move.
Permission to engage.
Destroy the enemy vehicle while you're on the move. You don't need to take aim now. Auto aim will do the job for you.
Okay, so they're actually having you auto-aim here. Still can't zoom in at all. Obviously from the front, T-3485 is not going to penetrate a Tiger II. But when I get around to the side, clearly I'm going to be able to. Not a problem at all. I kind of disagree with the fact they're telling you to auto-aim. I mean, it's a good little, hey, this is an option, but they need to specify that this is what you can do to a target who's standing still and not looking at you at all. Because as you can see, I'd much rather break target like that, be able to aim low, high, be able to shoot him in the turret like that. If I could zoom in, I'd go for something different. I wish they'd be like, you can auto-aim, or you can target weak points like the little hatches, like what I'm doing now. I'm actually aiming right at the loading hatch here for the crew. So shooting that is going to be a heck of a lot easier to penetrate than shooting something like, let's say, getting around to the front here and shooting the machine gun turret right here, which I believe they've taken out that sort of weak spot. Let me see here. Yep. So I wish they really would have changed that to say that either you can auto-aim or you can track your target manually to fire. Because as you can see here, there's much more weak points I can determine on my own, firing at stuff like here where the fuel tank and engine is, versus firing at somewhere else, like just the tracks to, you know, oh well, that wasn't exactly the tracks, but you know what I mean, just shooting at the tracks just to see what I could do. Now, if I could actually zoom in, I could actually aim a little better, but as you can see, I'm aiming at the commander cupola. So stuff like pointing out weak points on a target might be a little bit better of a tutorial there.
You have destroyed a heavily armored enemy vehicle. Move to the marked position and detect the enemy. Find and destroy the last enemy tank. You can only detect enemy vehicles within your view range.
Okay, so again, it's giving you some very basic tips. It's a very good start to what they have originally. Nothing too fancy, nothing too bad, but by and large, they really could almost open it up to a, I don't want to call it a second tutorial, but definitely could go for an advanced tutorial.
To conceal your position. Use bushes and foliage to make your tank harder to detect. Note that stationary vehicles are less visible.
Yes, yes it is.
To aim at long-range targets. Destroy the enemy vehicle. To hit a moving target at long range, aim at the front or ahead of the enemy tank.
Alright, so as you see there, they're actually giving you tips to zoom in as opposed to fire from the hip. They're telling you to zoom in, they're telling you to use your mouse wheel, and they're telling you to lead. So, leading, of course I'm missing, but that is also because I'm playing on, I don't know if this is a server based out of the actual World of Tanks server or if this is a local LAN server. If it's a World of Tanks server, I'm going to have a little bit of an issue because I'm actually playing on some very terrible Wi-Fi. So I'm going to try and aim this one a little better. There we go. As you can see, it took a little bit of work, but by and large, it's they're giving you a little bit of opportunity there. The tank turning around is kind of a cheater, not necessarily a true test of skill, but I mean, I see what they're going here, telling you to try and lead your target there. So I'm going to lead it just a bit, fire, nailed it right on the back end. We'll see if I can aim a little bit more ahead of it and hit it on the front end of it. We'll let for it to turn around again, because that's where the a dead Panzer IV, Panzer III is. So we'll wait for it to track. As you can see, at the speed it's moving, you want to track about half a tank length ahead, if not a little bit more, maybe like 3/4 of a tank length ahead of it at its current speed, and then you fire, and you should be able to hit it. So,
congratulations, you have learned to conceal your position and fire at long-range targets. Training completed successfully.
So it's a very, very basic tutorial there that they gave you. They really didn't cover using of terrain to your advantage or anything like that. So it's a great entry tutorial teaching you the very basics, but it really could step up. I mean, if they, I don't want to say this one in particular should cover everything. Perhaps they should have this basic one. This is a very good basic tutorial. A lot of things a lot of players are missing are involved in this. Between the lock on and move around and fire, they should discourage that for moving targets. And then they should also go ahead and kind of emphasize the how many distances ahead of a tank they should aim. But that's also part of this little tutorial, is to teach you that on your own. They don't want to basically feed you all the information. They want you to figure out how far ahead you have to aim, so on and so forth. And then beyond that, maybe they can introduce a secondary tutorial for using terrain to the effect, dodging fire, if have artillery bombarding your position, so they tell you fire and then retreat, fire, move forward, stuff like that. Just different little ideas. So that was just a very brief video here on the tutorial that is in the new patch that's coming out here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I have a few little tips in there as well, but you know, it's nothing spectacular, just a little bit of information they give you guys. Nothing that I'm sure a lot of people don't already know, but certainly I could see it's used for a new player as getting into the game, how it can really help them out. So there you have it, my first little look here at the new patch that's coming out. In addition to that, of course, we have the British, as soon as I can find the British TDs here down along the, where is this, the middle here with the ATs. So the Valentine AT, so on and so forth, all the way up to the FV21, or yeah, 215B 183, which as a lot of people know, when this thing is equipped with gold ammunition, it actually becomes a one-shot tank. It can actually kill almost anything and everything. But that's another story for a different day. 1750 damage. Yeah, just read that real quick. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for tuning into this episode of my little demonstration here of the upcoming patch that includes the British TDs and a few little modifications. So I will see you in my next look at this patch.